Imagine walking alone through the dense, whispering forests of Japan. It's 1989. Mist curls between the trees, the air thick with silence, until you see it. A massive SOS sign carved into the earth. Perfect lines. No signs of struggle. No footprints. Just 3 letters so large they could be seen from the sky. Who made it? Why here, in the middle of nowhere? And, most importantly, what happened to the person who needed help? This is one of Japan's most haunting unsolved mysteries. But the deeper you go, the stranger it gets, because this SOS isn't the only one of its kind. Tonight, we'll uncover 3 wilderness mysteries so bizarre, they might make you question what we call reality. It began with a missing persons search. 2 hikers, last seen wandering into the northern forests of Japan. Locals said they were experienced, calm, careful, methodical. But when they didn't return, a search party set out. The forest was vast, miles of thick trees and steep terrain. Days passed. Then, one of the search teams, scanning from a helicopter, spotted something strange. There, in a clearing, carved perfectly into the grass and soil, were 3 enormous letters. O. Each stroke measured meters across, drawn with impossible precision. From the air, it looked almost too clean, too straight to have been made by hand. Could this be their distress signal? One rescuer asked. But when the team reached the site on foot, the area was empty. No tents, no bodies, no sign of a struggle. Just the letters, standing alone in silence. At first, authorities believed the SOS was exactly what it looked like, a desperate call for help. But then came the inconsistencies. No one in nearby villages heard or saw the missing hikers after the day they entered. Helicopter searches found the SOS weeks later, so how did the sign remain perfectly intact? And strangest of all, no footprints led in or out. The ground around the letters was smooth, untouched, as if someone had wiped it clean. Experts estimated it would take at least 2 or 3 people to construct something that large. Yet no group ever came forward, and when police tried to connect the sign to known missing person cases, nothing matched. No one had disappeared in that exact area at that exact time. The SOS was real, but the people behind it seemed to not exist. Some investigators began to whisper theories. Maybe it wasn't a distress call at all. Maybe it was a marker, left intentionally, for reasons we can't yet understand. But before we dive deeper into what might have happened in those woods, we need context. Because this is not the first time the wilderness has kept a secret. Number 1. The Japanese SOS, 1989. A sign too perfect to be random, an absence of witnesses, and a chilling lack of answers. The SOS remains Japan's strangest unsolved wilderness event, its scale and precision unmatched. But around the world, other remote places hold their own enigmas. Number 2. The Oak Island Mystery, Canada. Off the coast of Nova Scotia lies a small, quiet island. But beneath its soil lies a riddle that's lasted over 2 centuries. It began in the 1700s, when explorers discovered a strange circular pit. Every time someone dug, they found layers of wooden planks, exactly 10 feet apart, until the pit suddenly flooded. Hundreds of treasure hunters have tried since then, and some have even died doing so. Coins, tools, and cryptic symbols have been discovered, but no one's ever reached the bottom. Was it pirate treasure, a Templar vault, or something that was never meant to be found? The Oak Island Mystery, like Japan's SOS, shares a pattern: precision beyond explanation. Both are creations of human hands, but whose and for what purpose? Number 3. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, Russia, 1959. 9 experienced hikers set out into Russia's Ural Mountains. Days later, their tent was found ripped open from the inside, their bodies scattered across the snow, some barefoot, others with radiation burns, and one missing her tongue. Theories range from an avalanche to secret weapons tests, even alien encounters, but none fit perfectly. Like the SOS sign, Dyatlov Pass is a mystery of design and impossibility. How do rational explanations fail this badly? How can so many clues lead nowhere? 3 places, 3 riddles written into the earth. Each one perfect in its shape, but broken in its meaning. Back in Japan, the search team decided to study the SOS in greater detail. Measurements confirmed it was visible from hundreds of feet in the air, but its construction raised more questions. The edges were cut evenly through grass and soil, almost as if done with tools, not bare hands. When they dug beneath the letters, they found old wood fragments, pieces of bamboo possibly used to line the strokes. But there were no fingerprints, no boot prints, and no sign of life. Then came something even stranger. A few weeks after the discovery, hikers nearby reported finding a small makeshift shelter, just branches and cloth. Inside were remnants of food cans, a tattered map, and an old notebook. But the pages were ruined by rain, the writing washed away. To this day, no one knows if it belonged to the creators of the SOS, or if someone else had been watching from the trees. Even more disturbing, a few investigators later claimed that the SOS was originally larger, that parts had been removed or trampled before the helicopter sighting. If true, then someone had been there, cleaning up. But for what reason? Over the years, many theories have emerged. Theory 1. A real SOS. Perhaps 2 lost travelers carved it desperately before succumbing to exhaustion. But there were no remains, no personal items, nothing to confirm this. Theory 2. A prank or art installation. Some argue it was a deliberate hoax, an attention-grabbing stunt by locals or students. Yet, no one ever took credit. And why would someone go to such effort, then vanish? Theory 3. Military or covert experiment. A few conspiracists suggest the SOS was part of a hidden training exercise, later abandoned. But official records show no such operation in that area. And then, of course, there's Theory 4, the unknown. That the sign was meant not as a plea, but as a message, a marker for something underground, a signal not for us, but for someone or something else. Every explanation leads to another mystery, and that's the hallmark of something truly unsolved. When logic fails, we're left only with possibility. If you compare these 3 mysteries, Japan's SOS, Oak Island, and Dyatlov Pass, a pattern emerges. Each occurred in isolation, each left behind perfect clues, and each defies explanation despite decades of investigation. All 3 show us one terrifying truth. Sometimes what's left behind is too perfect to be coincidence. It's as if someone, or something, wanted us to find it. Maybe the SOS wasn't a cry for help at all. Maybe it was a warning, or a breadcrumb left by someone who knew what was coming next. Decades later, the Japanese SOS still sits in the archives of Unsolved Mysteries. The clearing where it was found is now overgrown. Nature has swallowed most of it, as if trying to erase the memory. But the questions linger. Who carved it? Why was it so precise? And why, after all these years, has no one claimed responsibility? Investigators have come and gone, files have been lost, and the forest keeps its secrets. Some say the sign was never meant to be discovered, that it was left behind by someone who needed help but knew help would never come. Others believe it as part of a much larger puzzle, one that connects to other strange symbols found in remote locations across Japan. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Somewhere out there, the person or people behind the SOS knew exactly what they were doing, and they wanted to be remembered. The wilderness has always been a place of mystery, beautiful, untamed, and hauntingly silent. It keeps secrets that humans were never meant to uncover. From the depths of Oak Island to the frozen horror of Dyatlov Pass and the quiet forests of Japan, these mysteries remain unsolved, not because we lack evidence, but because maybe we're not supposed to understand them. Somewhere out there, another signal might be waiting, another message carved into the earth, waiting for someone curious or foolish enough to find it. Until then, the SOS remains. 3 letters, a cry for help, or maybe a warning. You've made it this far, which means you love a good mystery. So why stop now? Tap subscribe, hit like, and ring that bell. Because on MysticArc, the next secret is always just one video away.